everyone. Mountain West Financial is excited to celebrate National Women's History Month. With over 20 women within our management department, we're excited to bring some of the women together for a casual discussion on their background, what it means to be a female leader, why the mortgage industry is a great place for women to work, and more. First off, I want to go ahead and introduce these amazing women at Mountain West Financial. First, Laura Martell is one of our executive vice presidents. We have as well Carla Ferguson and Stacy Moore. Then we have Nancy Obando, who is our SVP of Strategic Products and Affordable Housing, and myself, Tiffany Haid, Marketing Manager. So we have a couple of questions that we are going to discuss today. So let's go ahead and start off. The first is, what is your background and how did you end up in the mortgage industry and at MWF? So whoever wants to go first.
I could jump in first since I'm the newer person to the company. I actually started in early 2000 in the banking industry at Wells Fargo as a teller. So I started as a teller, moved my way up as a customer service relationship manager. And then I went to Union Bank where I did most of my career, went into residential lending, did some construction as well, started off as an assistant, mortgage consultant assistant, loan officer, you name it. Every position that a lending institution has, I probably have done. And now I'm here at Mountain West Financial as a senior vice president for strategic products and affordable housing. And, I'm super excited, to be here and to see how I could grow here, because I know that here at Mountain West, we do foster each and one of our employees and move them up the ranks. Like, some of you, I know Stacy and Carla, you've had a long tenure here at Mountain West, right? And so, you've been able to move up the ranks as well.
Yeah, in fact, as Nancy mentioned, I started here almost 15 years ago. My background was in accounting. I didn't know mortgage, but I came here as the accounting supervisor. And I've always loved numbers, but once I got that first taste of being in a supervisory role, I knew that I loved working with people. So I actually went back to school while I was working for Mountain West, and I got my MBA, and I chose the concentration of management. That's just the area that I really love to focus on. And so over these 15 years, I've worked my way up. Mountain West has given me lots of wonderful opportunities, and I'm now at the role of Executive Vice President, loving what I do, have lots of wonderful women working within my ranks, and excited to watch all of them grow.
Well, my background in the world of finance started in 1976, working for a major bank in California, Union Bank. I spent about 7 years with them, beginning in customer service and moving to the note department, where I prepared promissory notes, short-term working capital for professionals such as doctors and dentists. And then I subsequently moved to a bank where I processed commercial loans for retail shopping centers, $5 to $15 million range. By the mid-1980s, I moved into this world of single-family homes, which was quite different in the amount of documentation that was required. And from a regulatory standpoint, there were times when I thought, we were asking for the DNA of people's kids. It was, getting so, it was different in the amount of documentation that was required. But eventually, in doing that, I became a processing supervisor, where I had a team, and then we processed builder loans, and that is really different, being in construction and when builders are bringing out entire phases. And so I was asked to come to the underwriting department at this one firm, and I really didn't want to go because I thought I could out-process any underwriter. You know, how you're kind of young and a little arrogant at that time. But I eventually made the move to underwriting, and it was one of the best moves I could have ever made in my life.
So I think my background might be a little bit different, but one of my favorite things about the industry is I think many of us who end up in the industry didn't necessarily think that we would be here. There's a lot of people who, when they first get into the industry, don't realize that mortgage has a T and two G's in it, and that's probably one of my favorite things about it. So for me, I did grow up in the industry, but never really had the ambition of living here full time. But I think what I found is it is home for me in a lot of ways because it allows me to combine so many of the things I love. It allows me to combine working with people I adore, using my background as a creative for problem solving, as well as in many of our different teams. And also it has just given a lot of us so many opportunities that I don't know that we would have in other industries.
Great,
You know,
great.
I did want to touch for one moment as to how I'm not sure if Tiffany really asked us yet, how I ended up at Mountain West Financial. I worked with a longtime acquaintance years ago. Her name was Penny Matson, and she was a funder. We were at the same mortgage company together, and she had previously worked with Mike Douglas, who was one of the founders of Mountain West Financial, and they were a broker who had just became a mortgage banker, and they were looking for their first official underwriter. And somehow in conversation, my name kept coming up. And so I interviewed with Mike and Gary at a restaurant. And it was different, these two guys, you know. My requirements were pretty simple. I wanted honesty, and I wanted to be with people who had ethics and a moral compass. And I told them if they were looking for someone who turned a blind eye to fraud, then I was not their person. I looked at them as just two average Joes with this little small company. It's like the little engine that could. And I said, you know what? I could be on the ground level of something special, because they really felt they could do this. They didn't know how they were going to do it fully all the time, but it was a drive that I felt there, and an honesty. And so I hitched my wagon to these two hardworking guys in November of 1995, and the rest is history.
That's great. Thanks, Carla. I'm actually the newest member of the management team. I've been with Mountain West for about 8 years now, and I have a degree in business marketing, so I've been in this marketing department just learning, kind of soaking it all in, as it was my first mortgage position. And yeah, I'm just excited to be a part of this management team and take in all of the wisdom that you lovely ladies have. And so it's just exciting to, definitely Mountain West is really just a family. Everyone makes sure that we, especially now, are together. We're communicating, we're working problems together, and it's really a great tight-knit company and tight-knit family. So, okay, thanks, ladies. So the next question is, what does it mean to you to be a female leader?
I'll start. So for me, being a female leader starts with how I was raised. The thing that really stands out to me is that my parents didn't set any barriers for what I could become. They encouraged me to do whatever it was that I wanted to do, and there was no wrong answer. So I was really happy that I got the privilege to be raised that way, and I think a lot more young women are being raised today more than ever. But I worked hard, I set goals for myself, and I was able to manage the competing demands of having a career and raising a family. Because I think that's one thing that gives women leaders a better perspective, is that they've gone through this, so that when they're dealing with women that are going through the same thing for the first time, they've got a unique perspective in terms of balancing the workplace and pregnancy, and the workplace and child rearing. And now going through this work from home situation gives us a completely different perspective on parenting while working. So You know, and even as the men become more into taking paternity leave or being stay-at-home dads, there's a lot of men in management that haven't had that experience. So the women leaders are able to kind of dial in and connect with them a little more closely.
It's huge. You know, the glass ceiling is still there, but it means we're getting there. You know, it means that we get to sit at the table with the boys because we deserve to sit at the table with the boys. And so it's a big thing.
I agree. When you look at the statistics, I know that we've made long strides, but the statistics still show that 20% of women are in executive level positions. And if you want to dissect that even further, there's only 5% women of color in senior vice president or executive level positions today. So I still think that there's work to be done. And that's why I think that having this, us as panelists, is crucial to letting people know that, if you see her, you could be her. And we are here to showcase that.
Yes. No, I love that. I think you're absolutely right. One of the things that has been so impactful is just seeing other women get elevated, along with our male counterparts, of course, but especially within our team and our family here, we have just so many wonderful women who have helped nurture and grow and elevate others around them. And there's really a strong spirit of, we all fix each other's crowns, and it's not about stepping over each other, but we've all been able to rise through the ranks and see each other grow at the same time. And that's made me so proud of just everybody here and everybody in our leadership team as well.
Thank you, ladies. That was great. The next question, why is the mortgage industry a great place for women?
I can jump in on this one. I think, first of all, it is an industry of limitless opportunities, and it has so many different factors that you can be involved with. If you are sales driven and sales motivated, there's a phenomenal route for sales. There's operational roles. There are, like Stacy said, she got into the industry because she had an accounting background. Tiffany and I got into the industry with more of the marketing and creative backgrounds. It's not just a one route path, and there's so many different ways that once you get here, you can really start to explore different facets and find what fits for you, because there's something truly for everyone here.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I know just even at our company, we have people that have worked in the industry, their whole life. And then we also today are looking for people who are just looking for a new career path, just have zero mortgage experience, never owned a house. They just don't know anything. And we just take them into our family, and we provide them with the tools and the experience to help them grow. And we have several people that have been in different departments, and that just really enhances their mortgage experience. And if one department doesn't work, we help them to figure out other places where their skills would be better fit. And we just, there's many people I know at our company that have just, worked their way up and have done a great job and are really just a well-rounded team member that we have.
And, we're in a modern era where education, you can obtain the education you want, but for many women that may not have received the same educational opportunities as men, it's a great industry to be in, because as Tiffany said, you can work your way up into the position that really captures you and have a very successful career. It can give you a broad base as to what we do in this industry. So it's a great industry to be in.
Yeah,
Absolutely. I would say that I'm a prime example. Like I said earlier, I started off as a teller. And before that, and I forgot to say, what I truly went to school for was fashion. So I still get to use my fashion sense, if you can see from the bright green suit, in the mortgage industry. And I am a mother of two young children. I have an 11-year-old and an 8-year-old. And the flexibility that I was able to have, when I was originating, or being able to even work from home now, was really supportive of the role that I wanted to play in my children's life, and the role that I wanted to play in my professional life.
Yeah. I'll add too that the mortgage industry is an industry about helping others. We especially supporting first-time homebuyers, which a growing proportion of them are single women. But if you want to find an industry that that satisfies that need to help others, this is a great industry to be in. And I know a lot of women have really appreciated being in the industry when they know at the end of the day they've done good for others.
Stacey, that actually just kind of reminds me when we were looking at some of the events that transpired last year. It made me really proud to be in an industry that we do impact change in our communities. We help people create generational wealth. We help people get into opportunities where maybe they're able to send the next generation to school, or able to pass a home on, or able to kind of set down those roots and create a new chapter in their stories. And you're right, at the end of the day, I mean, being service-minded and being able to leave an impact on our communities is at the core of what this industry is about.
Absolutely.
Next, we have what does it mean to be a woman of color in a leadership role?
Well, I'll take that one out the gate. It is an honor to be a woman of color in a leadership role, yet a very weighty responsibility. I know that what I say, how I dress, how I say things, what I do, it all impacts how I'm viewed by others, and it can open or close doors for other people. So I'm cognizant of whether I'm working in a business meeting or even in a social setting, that I still have that example that I need to show as a woman of color for those who come behind me. So many do not understand, I know the ladies on this call do, but what it feels like to walk into a room full of men and you're the only woman there. And then you add on to that, being a woman of color, you know that you better come in with your A game. You better be ready. You step up to the plate, and you are as professional as anyone else in the room. The one thing I would like to see more representation of Black women and Asian women within our company. But the one thing I want to say is I have never, ever felt the sting of racism within the walls of Mountain West Financial. The only color that we've been concerned with is green. We need to stay profitable. But outside of that, we hire based on the right fit for our culture and the right mindset of people with the personal qualifications that we need to do the job. So yes, it's a great responsibility, but I think just the whole culture and the people behind Mountain West Financial, they epitomize what we want to be as far as working with people of all races.
I agree. Well said, Carla. And, I mean, I don't have too much to add from that because you said it all. But if I would add something, is that Mountain West has been doing this for the last 30 years. It's not because it was a requirement, because Carla, you were here since day one, right? It's not because, yeah, it wasn't because of, a regulation or because we're required to hire someone, a person of color. And we see that in many companies, but at Mountain West, that wasn't the case at all. They do it because they, like you said, it's whatever fits right with our culture. We're a very culture-driven company, And, you know, I'm proud to say that about Mountain West Financial.
No, I've never felt like, I was the token person or anything like that. Of course, a company should be reflective, I believe, the employees or the team members of the communities that we serve, if all possible. And we have in California such a diverse population with Hispanics, Latinos, Blacks, and stuff. But you're going to be representative of that area, that population, that neighborhood that you're serving. And we do the best we can in that. But you're right, it's never been let's hire because we don't have enough of that particular ethnicity. It's been about the people. It's been about doing the right things the right way. And I love that about this company.
Thanks, ladies. Lastly, we have my favorite question. Tell me a story about one of your favorite times in the industry.
Wow.
I mean, there's
Okay, I'll do
many.
Well, back in 2007 with Mountain West Financial, Stacy can attest to this too, the industry was imploding. We had a mortgage meltdown, and our illustrious president and CFO at the time were out of state on vacation, well-deserved one, a cruise, and not really accessible for a period of time, and companies were imploding daily. I was so proud of how our team members pulled together to ensure that we made swift changes and didn't go down this vortex with everyone else. We had seasoned staff that went back to our core products and who we were. And at that time, it was government loans to go back to our core. And we weathered that storm. It just showed me the resilience of our staff, again, to work together. Such resilience, I will never forget. I will never forget. That's just it wasn't the best time in the industry, but it was the best time to show who we were, just like coming through this pandemic has been.
Yeah, you're so right, Carla. That was in 2007, and I started here in 2006, not coming from the mortgage industry. And I went, what am I getting myself into?
Yeah.
So that didn't come to mind at first for my favorite moment, but you're right. It really showed the true teamwork and what a great group of people we have. And we made it through that, and we're stronger than ever. So that's a really good favorite memory that you chose. For me, I don't think anything can top the moment when I got to walk across the stage to receive my Certified Mortgage Banker's designation. In this industry, that's a symbol of the dedication and the knowledge that you have in this industry. And it's a reminder to me and to everyone else to never stop setting goals and never stop improving. I would encourage any of you, if you're at a stagnant point and you're not sure that you're growing, reach for something, set a goal and just start working towards it, because it makes each day that more enjoyable when you've got something to reach for. If you've been in the industry for a while and you know a lot about it, but don't necessarily want to change what you're doing, maybe look into getting a designation from the Mortgage Bankers Association. Just keep learning, keep growing, keep improving yourself, and then it never gets old.
You've inspired me, Stacy. I'm gonna go for that now.
Yes, I'll be your mentor.
Yes. Okay. We're in. You see, this is a prime example of fostering what we do. For me, I would say there's many, but as of recent, I was able to be on the news, and I was recognized as an expert in the real estate and mortgage industry. And, like I said, I started from the bottom and I worked my way up, but I've always been so busy that I never realized to look back and see everything that I've accomplished. And it was a moment where it made me stop and realize where I was at. And I almost was like, wait, what are they calling me? What I'm being recognized for what? I think that was a very happy moment for me personally. So I would say that was a great memory. And others have been always making homeownership a reality for others. If it wasn't, my challenge when I was originating was, if it was not a cookie cutter deal, we all know there's cookie cutter deals, easy, that you could put through. But I always challenged myself to make sure that, how can I make this work? And that's actually what got me into the position that I am right now, and being into strategic products and affordable housing, is because I saw a lot of people, potential home buyers, being shunned. Oh, you don't qualify. Your FICO score is this? No, you don't qualify. You don't have down payment? No. And I saw other originators shut them out without an opportunity. Your credit's not good, goodbye. And that is something that I said, you know what? There has to be a way. If you're not ready today, I will get you ready for that someday. And so I used the resources that I had with credit counseling, or financial literacy, and I strive to always make homeownership a reality, for all. So I think that was another big moment for me, or of happy memories that I have throughout my career.
Yeah, and I would say, I mean, it's so hard to pinpoint just one, because I think there's so many amazing opportunities. Some of my personal favorite memories are actually non-work related things, but some of the events that we've been able to participate in. Relay for Life, for us, we are longtime participants and sponsors of a 24-hour event that is a cancer awareness and prevention cause. And I mean, some of my favorite memories are walking a track in the middle of the night, literally the 2 a.m. shifts. I know, Carla, you showed up for several of those as well. And just seeing some of the heart and soul of the community, the heart and soul of Mountain West out there all day, fundraising throughout the year. One of my all-time favorites from a Relay for Life, this may have been almost 10 years ago now, was midnight boxcar races. And just the people that we had out there running around the track. We never got the memo that you could cut your box down. Apparently everybody else did except for us. So we did not come in first, but we came in best dressed. So we were very proud of that. But just sharing those laughs, those memories, celebrating our 25th anniversary together, bringing it back to just events that are true to our culture, and the memories that we get to share together. Those are, I mean, that was kind of a lot of memories, but those are my favorite points in what we do.
Those were all great. I see all of the amazing customer testimonials that we receive after our loans, and just seeing those throughout the month just really like warm all of our hearts, because it's not just like a file that we're trying to push through. It's helping a family with their refinance. It's helping other families with their very first home, upgrading. I know myself, we had our first loan, or our first home, and then we wanted to expand our family. So I used Mountain West for our home loan, and we were able to get the family home that we have today. So not just like the families in our communities, but the families that we have in Mountain West, just being able to make such an impact on the families and the communities around us. So I just wanted to thank all of the wonderful female leaders here at Mountain West for participating in this discussion today. We really appreciate the impact that you guys are making at our company, for women and in our industry. And we're just so honored to have you guys all as leaders and a part of our Mountain West financial family.